Number 5 on this list is the security cam. A man recently bought a security camera to watch his home, and when he was reviewing the tape, found a very interesting sound. It doesn't sound like anything natural or something that would appear in his home. He's had a few different people listen to the sound, and they all seem to hear something different. What do you guys hear? So there is definitely something there, but I'm gonna be honest guys, I can't really tell what it is that it says. I checked the comments of the video where he posted it, and a lot of people think that it said innocent. I hear that, but it also doesn't quite fit, you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments what you guys hear, and if you think this is even English. It's possible that this could be a completely different language and we're just fooling ourselves entirely.
Coming in at number 4, The Exorcism of Anneliese Michel. Anneliese Michel was a German woman who led a tragically short life, later being used for inspiration in the film The Exorcism of Emily Rose. She underwent 67 exorcisms during her 23 years of life. There are numerous recordings and photos from her time being treated. It is believed that she was possessed by Lucifer and various other demons. There are reports that she had violent outbursts, ate insects, and drank her own urine. Her tapes are all in German, but that doesn't take away from the horrifying nature of the recording. What do you think? Does it sound like she was possessed by Lucifer? Her parents and the priest were later charged with neglect for torturing her over the course of 10 months. When she was found dead in her home, her knees were broken and she had starved to death. So sad. In at number 3, we have the Enfield Haunting recordings. The Enfield Haunting took place in Brimsdown, Enfield, London, England between 1977 and 1979, involving 2 sisters aged 11 and 14. I have to say, a lot of these recordings have a lot of superstition and non-believers, but most people who look into the Enfield Haunting can't help but believe it was a demonic possession. The haunting ran throughout the household, chairs moved, children levitated, and then there were the voices. Apparently the 2 girls were both known to speak in voices that resembled something like an old Cockney man.
Janet, Margaret and Betty, oh, the Sledman's talking. Sleeping, I'm talking.
People have even commented on how during the recording one girl can be heard with 2 voices at once, something that the young girl would not be able to do herself. It is enough to make the biggest skeptic a believer, and of course, it was the inspiration for The Conjuring 2, which was arguably the superior Conjuring movie. Fight me. Coming in at number 2, we have the demonic person. This recording takes place while a pastor was attempting to cast out a demon from a woman. The woman describes what it is like in hell. She is clearly distressed and asking for forgiveness to cast out the demon. The video itself comes with a warning that the woman was rescued just in time, but not everyone will be as fortunate. There are Bible passages before the audio plays to try and protect those listening from the demon who inhabits the woman.
You don't like nobody?
Oh, I hate everybody. I hate everybody. I hate
Why?
everybody.
We ain't done it to you. We ain't done it to you. Why you hate us?
Because
Why?
Because you guys are just, you get to go to heaven. I just hate you people.
Well, you were in heaven once. You could have stayed. Why didn't you stay?
Oh, that thing.
You can hear the pain in the woman's voice and the torture she is feeling. If you can listen until the end of the recording, you are braver than most, but you're not braver than me, because I'm the bravest. That's a lie. It's a lie, lie, lie. And finally, in at number 1, we have Siberian Sounds of Hell. This sound, broadcast during 2002 on Coast to Coast Art Bell radio show, was taken during a Siberian exhibition. It is claimed that during a deep drilling experiment, these sounds were captured from the depths of hell. You can hear screams of pain and torture during the recording. The girl who submitted the sound asked that a warning always be given before they play the recording, as it has bothered her since first listening to it when she was younger.
Kicking off at number 5, Wentworth Woodhouse. Back in December of 2017, a group of investigators known as Soul Reaper Paranormal headed out to Rotherham, South Yorkshire to Wentworth Woodhouse, a 17th century private estate that is notorious as a paranormal hotspot. The paranormal investigation team did an entire sweep of the 23,000 square yard building, but within just 2 minutes of being there, they caught this perplexing footage. Allegedly, the team described the apparition as being the same height as a child, and after standing in direct view of the cameraman, appeared to float through the wall as if trying to lead the team in a certain direction. The team described the spirit as being awash with residual energy, which is interesting because the majority of these apparitions can be explained away as a lens flare or a flicker of light, but in this case, the shape still holds its form even though when the footage is inverted. Interesting, right? Well, what do you guys think?
Number 4 on this list is T. So, I'm gonna be honest guys, this one isn't nearly as scary as some of the other ones on this list, but even still, I'm gonna include it because it truly is very strange. So the account that posted this is all about cats and animals. They're gonna be showing us how much food to dish out when something very strange happens.
Of a tablespoon? Yeah, this is half of a tablespoon. Tablespoon? Tablespoon?
So for some reason, this EVP really wants some tea. Maybe this is the ghost of some Victorian era person who just really misses having their afternoon tea and wants to make it known that they want some. It's definitely clear that a noise is there, like that can't possibly be debated, but what the heck made that noise and why are they saying tea? Very strange to say the least there. Number 3 on this list is the ancient Egyptian. Many years ago, back in 2013, a YouTube account called Massage ASMR posted a video entitled Ghost EVP Captured in Egypt on Camera. This video is pretty unlike the usual content this guy posts, but apparently it was actually sent in by his friends and was simply too good for him not to put on the internet and see if anyone had any answers. Apparently the footage was taken at the temple of Hatshepsut, Luxor, Egypt in October 2012. There was also no editing to this footage at all. It was taken directly from the SD card. Let's roll the clip now and see if you guys can hear the EVP.
All the guys over there, I know.
So it was very quick, but it was definitely there. A sound that came totally out of left field and doesn't make any sense for the surroundings. I mean, we hear a bunch of different tourists and a tour guide, and then very distinctly the sound of a ghost for roughly 1.5 seconds, and well, then it's gone. Now, it's believed that this ghost, or, well, whatever spirit was trying to communicate, was speaking ancient Egyptian. I don't know how these people managed to figure that out, but I guess considering we're in an ancient Egyptian temple, that would obviously make a lot of sense. Comment down below, what do you think about this EVP and what could it mean? Was this a warning, or maybe it was welcoming them? Pretty tough to say. Number 2 on this list is the Whisper. This next entry was captured by a couple who was vlogging on their vacation. This footage was captured at Teotihuacan. If you don't know what that is, then Google says Teotihuacan is a vast Mexican archaeological complex northeast of Mexico City. Running down the middle of the site, which was once a flourishing pre-Columbian city, is the Avenue of the Dead. It links the Temple of Quetzalcoatl, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Pyramid of the Sun, the latter two with panoramic views from their summits. Artifacts in the Museum of Teotihuacan culture on site include pottery and bones. Basically, this place is a very ancient site that has been linked to a lot of important rituals. The perfect place for an EVP to happen. Let's roll the clip and see what you guys think.
Comes from Brazil, over 3,000 miles away, and it's an energy conductor, but it
So she seems to think that it's whispering to them in Spanish or some other ancient language. I personally heard a lot more breathing than any whispering, but that's just me. Maybe this couple happened to be filming right at the perfect time and some ancient spirit was just passing on by. Or maybe she's right and it was actually trying to speak to them. It's too bad that these EVPs usually speak in languages that we don't understand, because it would be pretty nice to know what they're actually saying. And finally, number 1 on this list is Dracula's Castle. Corvin Castle in Transylvania is known to most people as Dracula's Castle. If Dracula was to be real, then this would definitely be the place that he'd live. Tourists travel far and wide to visit this place and see for themselves. Many people believe that the place itself is haunted, and some camera footage where they caught an EVP might prove just that. Let's roll the clip so you guys can see what I mean. I assume that footage is dark because they left the camera there for a long time and this probably would have been at nighttime. It's really fast, but that definitely didn't sound like the wind to me. That was very clearly something. Now I don't know exactly what that something was, but I would wager a bet that some type of spirit played a role in producing it. Was that spirit Dracula? Maybe. Could that have been the spirit of somebody who died here? Well, that's also possible. We may never know for sure, but I think it's pretty clear that this castle is how the locals describe it. Very haunted.
Coming in at number 5, we have Demon in the Basement. This recording comes from 2007. It took place in a home in Philadelphia. The owners started to notice weird sounds coming from their basement during the night. They decided to investigate the noises by placing recording devices in the basement to hopefully capture the noise and figure out what might be causing it. 3 nights passed and no noise was picked up on the recordings. Then on the 4th night they captured some very angry sounding audio. People believe these noises were in fact from a demon who was residing in the couple's basement. It appears to be very angry. The noise occurred around 3 AM, which is commonly known as the devil's hour, making this even more chilling. They also included that they found no other evidence as to what was making the noise, so this case remained unsolved. Think if I heard this in my basement, my house would be for sale the next day. Actually, it would probably be in flames. Get a match. That's a lighter. But you get the point.
Next up at number 4, sounds from the basement. Admittedly, this is an audio video, so I'll give you fair credit for feeling a little cheated. However, the content of this minute-long YouTube video is so strangely disturbing that I just had to make this list. Published over a decade ago in 2007, YouTuber Don Garvey responded to a homeowner that had regularly heard strange, unsettling noises coming from their basement, and so, along with a paranormal investigation team, set up some rudimentary audio recording equipment in the basement to see what was going on. After 3 days of capturing no compelling explanation, on the 4th night, just after 3 AM, they realised that there was something down there making an otherwise otherworldly racket. Now, Don has defended this footage for over a decade, regularly explaining that the footage was completely unedited other than being amplified, and maintaining that he still has no explanation for the ghostly sound. Either he's got one hell of a poker face, or he really did capture the wailing of a disturbed spirit. Coming in at number 3, Dreamwater Lounge. And we're going back to England again because we all know that's where the spookiest stuff happens, right? In 2015, some pretty unnerving CCTV footage was captured at the Dreamwater Lounge wine bar in Stockton Heath, Cheshire, following decades of reports from staff of strange happenings on the property who regularly complained of an unsettling feeling throughout. Well, at 1 minute 15, the CCTV camera captures what appears to be an incredibly clear silhouette of a figure moving throughout the corridor before disappearing and the camera shaking back to normality. Well, horror fans, I've got to be honest with you, the reason that I chose this clip for our number 3 spot, right in the middle, is because, well, it's a fake. A very good fake, but still an obviously doctored piece with some very clear tampered editing to propagate a paranormal story. Remember, it's important to be vigilant when facing the unexplainable. At 37 seconds when the lights cut, it appears to rain on the camera. However, the streak marks seem to take away the hard-coded date and timestamp, which just doesn't happen. It's not on the camera lens in any way, unless the spirit possesses the power to cause digital precipitation, which, who knows? Well, we will leave the link to this video in the info box so you can check it out for yourself and let us know your thoughts in the comment box down below. Next up at number 2, Gettysburg Ghosts.
Right there. See? Look. There's nobody there.
Which, compared to our previous point, is definitely a video that myself, as well as the majority of the internet, find incredibly difficult to explain away because it's just so weird, and the perfect example of a difficult to explain ghost video. This is heralded by many as the most genuine paranormal footage ever captured, and has held that title ever since it was filmed way back when in November of 2001. Husband and wife duo Delia and Tim Underwood were visiting the triangular field at Gettysburg on a day trip with their grandchildren, when after filming the site they noticed something appear along the tree line. Shapes, figures, almost too clear to be true figures of what appeared to be American Civil War soldiers moving in formation. Now, I'm going to level with you guys, I've tried to look as critically as possible at this footage and I'm still stumped. The video quality is low at best, which would make any post editing pretty obvious. There's none of that. Other than several very unlikely lens flares, I don't have an explanation. Check it out for yourselves and let us know your thoughts in the comment box down below. And finally, at our number one spot, thing in the hallway. Now, it's important to remember that this piece of footage was made for entertainment, but still, I think the possibility of it being tampered with is incredibly low, and nevertheless, it doesn't make it any less terrifyingly weird. Ghost Stalkers, a short-lived paranormal documentary series from veteran investigator John E.L. Tenney, featured an episode where himself and his assistant spent the night alone in violently haunted locations. It's important to note that this episode was the only television show to ever capture a full-body apparition on camera, and that's kind of a big deal. The figure that has now become known as the Tall Man was filmed inside the Old Taylor Memorial Hospital in Hawkinsville, Georgia, a notorious hotspot for the paranormal, and well, I'm pretty sure the show's creators couldn't believe their eyes after capturing one of the most chilling pieces of paranormal evidence ever. Again, we'll leave the link in the info box down below so you can check it out in full. Yeah, that's some pretty spooky stuff.